There's research on DEI and medicine, and there's no evidence that standards are being lowered, that DEI is affecting medicine. Actually, like only 5% of doctors are black, and a small percent.
Yeah, well, I think you'll find that when this is posted to the X platform, that people will reply to it with evidence. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see.
The Center for Equal Opportunity, a private nonprofit making think tank based in Washington, D.C., has found that Black and Hispanic students are being admitted to American medical schools with substantially lower college grades and test scores than white or Asian students. What is the debate?
So let's talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. All right, that's been a target of yours lately on X. There was a repost of Ben Shapiro that you claim that DEI is killing people. Specifically, you point to medicine. You claim that DEI programs are putting people at risk. Do you really believe this to be true? And what evidence do you have to support it?
What I was referring to there was that if we lower the standards for doctors, so that they, if the test for a doctor is lowered, then the probability of them making a mistake and killing someone is obviously going to be higher.
Wait, say that again. I'm not sure I understand what you said. I want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
Yes, if the standards for passing medical exams and becoming a doctor, or especially something like a surgeon, if the standards are lowered, then the probability that the surgeon will make a mistake is higher. They're making mistakes in their exam. They may make mistakes with people, and that may result in people dying.
What evidence do you have, though, that they're lowering the standards? There's no evidence of that.
I believe there is.
There's no evidence of that, Elon. What is the evidence?
I believe they have literally lowered the standards at Duke University, and that is what the article was referring to.
There's no evidence.
Saying they have not lowered the standards?
There's no evidence about lowering standards, and I think that there is.
Leave that as a false statement you're making.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, what does he think affirmative action is? Why is this controversial? The standards are being lowered. That's a fact. Let's do a quick fact check. Minorities get preferential admission to U.S. medical schools. Right here. The Center for Equal Opportunity, a private nonprofit making think tank based in Washington, D.C., has found that Black and Hispanic students are being admitted to American medical schools with substantially lower college grades and test scores than white or Asian students. What is the debate? Many of the preferentially admitted students from the minority groups could not pass their licensing examinations, despite greater resources being directed towards helping them than helping other students. Why is this controversial at this point? Like, all you have to do is look at the data. It's very clear. This shouldn't be controversial. These students generally receive more funding, more resources, more attention, and they still underperform. The unfortunate truth is, if these institutions were truly merit-based, the demographics would look a lot different. That's the fact. Like, this is just sad. At every medical school that the center studied, substantially higher numbers of Black students than white either did not take or failed their initial licensing examinations, and in most instances, failed their subsequent licensing tests as well. The evidence is damning. Sorry. I'll link this article below, but man, like there's no question. There's no question, guys. The standards are being lowered. And if you don't believe it, you're not doing research. You're not participating in the same reality that everyone else is.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is when this is posted on the X platform, there will be a whole bunch of things that rebut what you said and what I said, right? And so people can then make their own decision based on the replies and the rebuttals and the community notes.
I think that's fair, but I do think that on this particular topic, I do think that you and Ben Shapiro are reaching in about this, because there was what Ben posted said that he gave instances of people who were deliberately harming people. Nowhere in the thread does Ben suggest at all, I should say, that anyone is being killed as a result of DEI. That's purely speculative. There's research on DEI in medicine, and there's no evidence that standards are being lowered,
Okay.
that DEI is affecting medicine. Actually, like
Okay, well-
only 5% of doctors
Yeah.
are black, and a small percent.
Yeah, well, I think you'll find that when this is posted to the X platform, that people will reply to it with evidence.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see.
Okay, so, but that's my whole thing about moderation. Maybe you're wrong, but you'll put it out there. You don't know if it's right. Do you think that your responsibility to make sure something is right before you, the person who owns it, Elon Musk, is
Yeah.
a huge figure in the world, that you should know that it's true, that there are people at X who can get research for you before you put something out there like that? That's not necessarily true, even in other examples.
If I say something that is inaccurate, I'm immediately corrected on the platform. That's the advantage of a real-time system like X. So there will be immediately in the replies people correcting me. There will be a community note that will correct me, which is attached to the actual post itself.
Do you think as many people
and
read
Yes.
You think as many people read that as it reads your tweet?
Yes, in fact, and if there's a community note that happens later that where somebody didn't see, but they replied to that or interacted with that post, we will notify them that there is now a community note correcting that post.
Just so you.
Whereas if you consider the conventional media, that doesn't happen. Conventional media makes false statements all the time and nobody ever hears the correction.
When I was in conventional media, I can only speak for myself. If I got something wrong, or if someone got something wrong on the platform that I was on, it was corrected, and we made sure that it was corrected. Now, I can't speak for.
All right, that's literally not the point that he just made. The point he made is that the correction is often not as reported and doesn't receive as much attention as the false story. They put out false stories and silently issue corrections. Remember the Covington Catholic kids? Remember that? Remember that kid? They just spread lies and then issue quiet and silent corrections, but the lie has already traveled twice around the world. That's the point he's making. X platform actually notifies you when something has been corrected or noted. And that's a very incredible feature. That shows the level of responsibility to the truth. I don't understand the Elon Musk hate. I really don't. Very confusing to me. This is a guy who's trying his hardest to advance humanity, and he's getting hate. I understand now why Elon Musk canceled this whole Don Lemon deal, because this guy is insufferable, man. This guy is unbearably foolish. But what are you going to do? Anyways, that's the video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you later. Peace.